We are again in the middle of a French election, only a month after Emmanuel Macron was elected as French president. I'm now joined with our reporter, Matthew Leiser. Hello, Matthew.
Hello, Katia.
Matthew, could you explain to us how this French legislative election works?
Yes, so in France, they call it like the third and the fourth round, because just following the presidential elections, they were like a month ago only, as you said, and they voted already twice. And if we had to compare them to the English ones, it's a bit like the general elections, because they're going to elect the MPs to represent them in the assembly. But on the other hand, it's not the same, because they're not electing their leader. They already did it. They did it when they voted for the president.
So, as I understand, we're now in between the first two rounds. What were the results of the first round?
So the results were quite unexpected. Macron got a large majority in the first round with 28%. Followed by the Conservatives with 17%, and the Parti Socialiste, the party of the former President François Hollande, got only 7%, which is his worst score in history. So we can say that the French politics got really reshaped. He's projected to win between 400 and 440 seats, compared to out of 577 seats in total in the parliament.
That sounds like the traditional parties in France will definitely suffer from that. Is that right?
Yes, of course, they're quite angry now. They're calling Macron as a monarch. He might be a threat to democracy, and even his voters are not really okay with all these policies. For instance, the state of emergency that they've implemented in France since the Bataclan attack in November 2015, he wants to transform it as a law. So these voters and the voters of other parties might do like what all the French people are doing, go in the street and protest in the following weeks.
And why do you think President Macron is so popular?
He might be so popular first for the same reason why he won the presidential elections, because he broke the political system in France. He doesn't have a party, but he has a movement, and the people are quite happy to elect him. Normally, they always give a majority to new presidents, but the results are always pretty tight. This time, they are really large after the first round. If you look at London, for instance, because you have to know that in France, French citizens are represented by MPs at the parliaments, the French citizens living abroad. So, for instance, for Northern Europe, you have MPs in London that represent them, and we are in the middle of the two rounds again, and the candidates representing Macron won with 60% of the votes. And the former candidate, she was a socialist, Axel Lemaire, got only 9%. So she even said that if I'm elected, I will not be against Macron, but I will work with him. So we can see that he reshaped it completely.
Thanks, Matthew. And you've also made a portrait of the two candidates. They're talking about issues such as Brexit. So I think we should have a look at that.
As surprising as it may seem, the French do have an MP here in London. Out of the 13 candidates present in the first round of the elections, Axel Lemaire from the Socialist Party and Alexandre Holroyd from En Marche, Emmanuel Macron Party, are qualified for the runoff.
Franco-canadienne, très nordique dans l'âme et dans l'esprit. Je suis députée, j'ai été membre du gouvernement pendant 3 ans, en charge du numérique et de l'innovation, et je me représente comme dans cette circonscription que j'aime tant.
Parce que je suis franco-britannique, j'ai grandi ici, j'ai la famille qui habite dans tous les pays européens, et c'est un immense honneur pour moi aujourd'hui de porter les couleurs de la République En Marche dans cette circonscription.
With Brexit across the roads and an uncertain future for Europeans living in the UK, the both candidates put the issue at the core of their agenda.
Il faut donner un visage humain au Brésil.
We've got to give a human face to Brexit, because if we want to defend well the rights of the European here, then we need to reflect their lives, their testimonies. I want to be Mrs. Brexit to allow giving this human face and bring transparency.
Sur des questions comme la défense, donc
Brexit on the Brexit. The links between the French and the English needs to be protected. These are very old links. People fought together. It does not mean that we have to give the UK an exclusive access, but we can reach an agreement for everybody.
Mais il faut un accord.
Holroyd, as many of his En Marche colleagues across France, is seen as favourite to win on Sunday. Matthew Leiser for City News International.